Hi, this is Morgan Berger, and for discussion 4, I will be explaining muscle contraction. So in the first step, we have excitation. Here, nerve impulses are sent down the motor neuron and arrive at the synaptic knob. At this time, calcium that is on the outside moves into the synaptic knob. This calcium being on the inside causes synaptic vesicles to release ACH into the synaptic cleft. These molecules then bind to the sarcolemma of a muscle cell. The binding of the ACH molecules cause electrical signals in all directions of the sarcolemma. So here we can see the nerve impulses coming down into the synaptic knob, the calcium coming in, and the ACH moving into the synaptic cleft, and then the electrical impulses being spread. In step 2, we have excitation contraction coupling. Here the electrical impulses move down the transverse tubules, and this causes the sarcoplasmic reticulum to release stored calcium. These calcium ions diffuse through the sarcoplasm and bind to troponin. This causes tryptomyosin to move away from myosin binding sites on the actin. So here the electrical impulses are coming down the transverse tubules. Here's the sarcoplasmic reticulum and the calcium that is stored coming out. That calcium binding to the troponin, and then the myosin binding sites moving away on the actin. In step 3, we have contraction. Here, the myosin head uses ATPase to break down ATP for energy. With that ATP, the myosin head extends up to the actin and attaches to the binding site. This is called the cross bridge. The myosin head then pull the opposing thin filaments to the center of the sarcomere. This is called a power stroke. ATPase breaks down the new ATP process, and it continues until the sarcomere shortens. So here we have the myosin head and the ATPase converting to the ATP, and that allowing the myosin head to come up to the binding site of the actin. Finally, in step 4, we have relaxation. So the nerve impulses stop, which means the ACH is no longer releasing, and the calcium remains on the outside, which means the sarcolemma is no longer being stimulated. Calcium from the sarcoplasm is returned back to the sarcoplasmic reticulum, and the binding sites return to their original position. Thin filaments slide back, and the sarcomere returns to its normal length. So here, the nerve impulses stop, the ACH stays on the inside, the calcium stays on the outside, and the calcium is restored back into the sarcoplasmic reticulum. Thank you.